Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 9th of July 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the amazing Golden Girls tarot cards for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Friday and what energy you'll be working with. In terms of the astrology, we have a new moon in Cancer happening on the 9th and 10th of July, depending on what time zone you're in. If you would like extra information on that, then please have a look at the video I made on the new moon in Cancer. I go into quite a lot of detail. But for this reading, I want to see what the tarot has to say about Friday and what the card's take on it is. So let's see what comes up. First card is the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Six of Swords. She's rowing away from Stan. I love that. Stan is her ex-husband. Okay, that's so funny. I love it. Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles is the highest card in the suit of Pentacles. It goes from the Ace of Pentacles, then Two of Pentacles, all the way up to number 10. And it shows that you've got to a completion point when it comes to your practical circumstances. The Suit of Pentacles has to do with money, financial security, career, physical health, your environment, so the physical world and how it impacts you, the location you live in, what the environment is all about, how it makes you feel. It's about your daily routine, your physical health, anything that really has to do with your experience here on planet Earth. So I get two things with this card. First of all, I get that you reach some sort of completion point that makes you feel whole and rich and abundant so that you can harvest the apples on this tree. This is the height of summer, and something good manifests itself into your life and something appears. That then puts you at a crossroads where you have to make a new decision. I've finished this off. What is next? And that kind of speaks to this card here as well, the Six of Swords, which is about a journey into your future. So it's about endings and new beginnings. But what I also get with this card is that your environment may be so busy and you may have so much going on in your life that you feel overwhelmed. Like, let's say you had this tree in your backyard, okay? And you have all these apples which have ripened. If you decide to harvest all those apples, it's like it's a full day's job. You have to get the step ladder out. You may have to even get the big ladder out, and you're going to stand there all day picking these apples. And it puts pressure on you, because if you don't, then the apples fall to the ground and they rot and they create this whole mess, and then you've got bees and all sorts of things. So it's almost like it's too much of a good thing almost. There are so many things happening in your life, in your practical circumstances, that you may feel like things are good, but it just becomes a bit much. You may be overwhelmed. It's like, okay, the pace is too much. Things need to slow down a little bit, and my head is spinning almost. It's like, I don't know which way to turn, because it's like I can't be ungrateful because things are good. I can't speak my mind because people will think I am not grateful and I'm negative and I only focus on the things that are difficult. But there's only so much you can do in one day. So try and narrow things down. If there are lots of good things happening in your life, then pick the thing that's most enjoyable and that has the least amount of pressure associated with it or attached to it. If you do have a big job to complete, then try and split it up into manageable parts. So in the morning, take these 3 branches and do that. And then in the afternoon, do this part of the tree. So deal with the things you can. And if you don't manage to harvest all the apples in one day, so if you're not able to tick off all the things on your to-do list, then that is okay. I think the main thing here is to realize that you're one person and that you can burden yourself and you can expect a lot of yourself and you can set these really high standards, but you're not always going to attain all these high standards, and there's really no point in beating yourself up if you don't do the job that you set out to do at times, because the self-flagellation, going after yourself and criticizing yourself, that's just going to make you feel bad. It's going to make you less productive on the next day. So the important thing is to manage your expectations and to say, I'm going to do the best I can. And if I'm not satisfied with myself, I'm not going to be so hard on myself. There's a lot going on and I can only do so much. I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. The good thing is that these are positives, okay? So it's better to have lots going on and to feel overwhelmed by that, I suppose, than to have lots of negative things going on that overwhelm you. So try and keep a positive perspective and manage the day effectively, in the sense that you don't expect too much of yourself, and to be grateful for the little things and to try and enjoy the moment. The Queen of Wands, you can see Sophia grinning here, very happy. She's the queen with her little tiara or her crown there. Black cat is protecting her. She's holding a sunflower, which is a symbol for creativity and joy. And she's in this yellow dress, so she's living a wonderful life. She's doing something that's meaningful and important to her. So it looks like she's just won some dance competition, or she's dressing up as queen for the day, and she feels special, and she feels like she's getting the attention that she deserves, and she has this inner glow happening, and that really motivates and inspires her to be even more creative, to continue on her life path, and it allows her to naturally melt away all the difficulties that she's been through. So all this yellow, all this sunshine, the fact that she feels good and she feels in control means that there isn't a lot of room for negativity. It can't touch her. And then we've got this black cat here, which is a symbol of mysticism and magic. And obviously the cat is her companion. So friendship, all of those things. So spiritual connection and appreciation for some bigger loving force taking an interest in your life and guiding you along the path. And your friendships, the people who love you in your life, those are all things that are going to keep negativity at bay and that make you feel protected. So if you are overwhelmed by your circumstances, reach out for help and say, I've got all of this to do. Maybe I can delegate a little bit. Maybe you can help me out. Realizing that there is a bigger purpose to all of this, and that you're not alone, and that you can manage. And that even if you don't get things done, it's not the end of the world, that there's a bigger picture and there's something loving at work in your life that makes you feel supported. Those are really, really important, because when you focus on the positives today, then you make them even bigger, and you're able to pick one thing which is incredibly important to you. So rather than saying, oh, I've got all of this work to do, just say, look at this amazing tree that I planted 15 years ago and look at all the apples on there. That's amazing. Let me look at the one apple that is brightest and shiniest and that I want to pluck and that I want to eat. And we're not even talking about harvesting the rest of them or keeping the yard tidy. We're talking about celebrating the fact that I planted a tree and now the fruits are kind of just hanging off it. And I'm just going to take a moment to eat one of those apples and to actually enjoy it before you ask yourself, what's the next step? What do I have to do, etc., etc. So it's really about being in the moment and enjoying the good things in your life. And it's interesting that I said, you've got so many good things happening that you're overwhelmed by them. How about then, as a solution, hello Greg, focusing on one thing that is really good and that brings you a lot of joy, and to make the day about that. And maybe to harvest the days another day, or to harvest the apples another day, or to spread it out over a few days so that you're not working yourself to the bone, or inviting friends and family to come around, and maybe you throw a little barbecue or party or something, and then you ask everyone to pluck 10 trees. And then something that would have been major hard work if you did it by yourself becomes like an enjoyable process. So keep it simple, narrow the focus to one or two things which really bring you a lot of joy, and that's going to empower you like nothing else, and you can really have a fabulous time here. And then if you do have to make a journey, if you do have to move away from a relationship that no longer works for you, or if you want to start a new job but you're scared of sending the application, or if you want to leave a job where you're being abused and bullied but you need the income and it's a really tough decision, or if you want to change location, or you want to alter the way you speak to yourself, like if you're really negative with yourself, then maybe you're like, enough of this. I'm supposed to be my own best friend here. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to move away from that. Let Spirit guide you, and let this feeling of well-being and happiness guide you. That's what really strengthens you to take a journey that is difficult, and things which at other times, okay, so you're able to manage this sense of overwhelm. What is it to be overwhelmed? I'm biting off, excuse the expression with the apples here. I'm biting off more than I can chew. I'm trying to do too many things at once. So the way I'm going to manage this is to make a game out of it. And I'm going to try and enjoy something that's a real success and achievement in my life rather than overloading myself with expectation. So that's the way you deal with the sense of being like things are too much on this day. By keeping things simple like that and managing them, you really allow your inner queen of wands to appear and to thrive and to have a good time. And it's by enjoying yourself, not by criticizing yourself, that you're able to undertake really hard tasks which may have stumped you before and which may have overwhelmed you in the past. So you get a grip on how to deal with this feeling of being overtaxed and overly burdened, and like you have too little time and presence of mind to deal with all of the things going on. That's what you're able to master today. So it's really about getting organized mentally and emotionally and spiritually so that you can have a wonderful time without any feelings of despair or like you're out of control. And that then allows you to tackle genuine difficulties which you've avoided in the past because they've been so scary. So if there is something that you know will bring you joy, but you don't want to do it, you've been procrastinating on it because you don't feel good enough, or it just seems too difficult, or you've been putting it off, revisit that today. You'll be able to make that journey and really reward yourself in the process. You'll be glad you did it. It's like ripping the plaster off in one go. It makes your job a lot easier. Number-wise, we've got 10 and 1 is 11, and 6 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. 8 in numerology is strength. So you have the strength to manage the things that are demanded of you and to label them in such a way that you feel organized and in control. And that foundation then allows you to really build something which you felt was outside of your control in the past, or it was just too much of a big task. You couldn't do it. It just felt like, oh, just the idea of this is exhausting. I'm not going to be able to complete this impossible mission. But today, because you have this wonderful sense of control and joy, you can do the impossible. Wow. And you have the strength to do the impossible. That's amazing. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.